Welcome back to Learning How. Today we are learning about C.P.E. Bach. Carl Philipp Emanuel Bach is best known as C.P.E. Bach because that is just a mouthful to say Carl Philipp Emanuel. But he is the son of Johann Sebastian Bach, who we studied a few weeks earlier. And George Philip Tellman was his godfather. C.P.E. Bach's only music teacher was his father, and in fact, he credited his father as his greatest musical influence. Bach is noted as the most important transitional composer between the Baroque period and the Classical period. He was born in 1714 and he died in 1788, and he is from Germany. He was 29 years old when he died, and he died from a chest ailment. At this time in history, in 1756, the 7 Years' War began. And in 1773, the Boston Tea Party occurred. Here's a fun quote from C.P.E. Bach. A musician cannot move others unless he too is moved. So you cannot feel passion in a song. Your listeners cannot feel passion in a song if you do not feel the passion in the song. The first piece that we're going to learn from C.P.E. Bach is called Solfeggietto in C minor. It was written in 1766. Let me turn the volume up for a second so you can hear a little bit better. Solfeggietto is C.P.E. Bach's most well-known piece. It is sometimes performed with just the left hand. I don't know why I could do that. And some historians consider this piece to be a type of toccata. A toccata is a piece played with a piano or a keyboard with fast moving notes, and it shows off a player's quick fingers. That is certainly very fast. I don't think my fingers could do that. So have you heard this piece before?
Nope.
And if so, where? And how do the dynamics change during this piece? What kind of mood do you think it sets? And how does the minor key affect the mood of this piece?
Now, can we take this out?
Sorry, Ridget's here helping me, and she's playing Play-Doh. You can hear a little bit better if I move the computer a little bit closer.
Mommy, but I can't play my Play-Doh.
You can hear the quick moving fingers.
Mommy, I can't play
And how the minor sounds like, to me, makes me feel like that I should be in a hurry to go somewhere. Or I should do something really quickly. It makes me think like somebody knocks on your door and your house isn't clean, so you're gonna all of a sudden try to clean up really super quick so they don't see all like your socks on the floor. The second song that we're going to learn from C.P.E. Bach is called Cello Concerto in A minor. It was written in 1750 in Berlin, Germany. It is the first of 3 cello concertos written by C.P.E. Bach. I love the cello. Just listen to it's so beautiful. This piece highlights C.P.E. Bach's use of sudden pauses and dramatic moments. So see if you can hear those dramatic moments. Our key word that we're going to learn is called arpeggio. An arpeggio is a note on a chord played one at a time, cascading in ascending or descending order. So either they go up, do-do-do-do-do-do, or down, do-do-do-do-do-do. So played on a chord, so it's played one at a time, going up or going down, ascending or descending. So what do you think about this piece? Are there any surprises? How does the dynamic or the tempo surprise you? And how is the feeling of the orchestra different than the mood of the cello? And how did the music show off this difference? I love it. Here's the cello. Slow and somber. Let's get a little closer. There's the cellos playing. Because they need to learn about the music. So you have the cellos how they differ from the rest of the orchestra. I'm going to put a link to these songs in the description just so that you can have time to listen to it. This whole song is like almost 10 minutes long. And so to be able to get the full effect of it, you might want to listen to the whole thing yourself if you have the opportunity. But if not, this is definitely a glimpse. So you can hear the orchestra, how they're playing kind of cheery and quick. So I'm going to put a link into the description for all that, just so that you can have a better, more in-depth look yourself. The third song that we're going to listen to from C.P.E. Bach is called Magnificat. And remember, this was first written by Monteverdi. He wrote his own version. Now this is C.P.E. Bach's version. And so it is suggested to listen to the first like 10 minutes of this. So I'll put a link in the description for this, since obviously we're not going to listen to the whole thing on this video, because also the whole thing is like almost an hour long. But the first 10 minutes is suggested. Magnificat has 9 movements based on Luke chapter 1 verses 47 to 55 in the Bible. It was written in Berlin in 1749. The first movement is from Luke chapter 1 verse 48, and it's played in D major. And the second movement is from Luke chapter 1 verse 48, and it is performed in B minor. Here you will hear a quartet. A quartet is 4 singers, and this is how they're usually arranged. First, you'll have a soprano, which is a high female voice. Then you'll have a tenor, which is a high male voice. Then you have an alto, which is a low female voice, followed by a bass, which is a low male voice. So high female, high male, low female, low male. Soprano, tenor, alto, bass. So what do you think C.P.E. Bach wants us to feel when listening to these 2 movements of the piece? And then how does the mood change? And we're just sitting in Play-Doh. I don't know if that's wise. I think it might get stuck to your pants. Yeah. Play-Doh butt. Okay. And then how does the tempo or speed change during the feeling of each movement? And then how does the dynamic change during each movement to affect your mood for the piece? It's beautiful. And the final piece that we're going to listen to by C.P.E. Bach is called Flute Concerto in D minor. And so it is suggested to listen to at least the 3rd movement.
I'm seeing Play-Doh again.
Okay. And we are going to fast forward to that 3rd movement right now. If I can move it, we're going to move into the 3rd movement, which begins around 16 minutes. So if you can fast forward to about 16 minutes, and then this is the 3rd movement. And so Bach wrote this when he worked for the court in Berlin. And then this is where he was composing and performing them. And so there's a similar arrangement of this concerto for a harpsichord. How fast that sounds.
No, right here.
Oh, we're doing to show you her Play-Doh. Look how soft it is, because she used her pants as a rolling pin. It almost looks like a Sour Patch Kid got squashed. And so the concerto could have been written for as early as 1747. Not exactly sure exactly when it was written, but they think it maybe written as early as 1747. And so today, this key word that we're going to learn is called Allegro di molto. Allegro di molto, which means very, very swift tempo. This is a very swift tempo. Oh, because it is a Sour Patch Kid. That's because of this. Now is a Sour Patch Kid. I don't recommend eating that. This is such a very swift tempo. Listen to it. Allegro di molto. It means very swift, very quick. Listen to that. I don't know if my fingers could keep up. Bach must have liked to do everything quickly. So it seems like a lot of his pieces have very swift movements. So how do you think C.P.E. Bach wants you to feel while listening to this piece? What do you think about the tempo or the speed? Do you think it is very swift? And how does the minor key affect the feeling of this piece?
I'm seeing Play-Doh.
So, yes, you're sitting on more Play-Doh. For learning how, since Bach is from Germany, much like his father, we have a special German craft for you to do, more German facts as we study the culture of Germany. And we will have a great time, but it's gonna be a surprise of what we're doing. So just hold tight.